another edition of the WiseTake MLB DFS Wise Stream. CK013 here. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013, and I, of course, am from the WiseTake Nation. But you can find another social media platform listed above directly, WiseTake.com. If you're looking to take your DFS game to the next level, we are a premium DFS content provider as well as a DFS community designed to help make you a better DFS player. WiseTake.com. Day Pass is available. Check us out if you want to try us out. That being said, if you're new to this channel, welcome. You've come to the right place for some free fire DFS content, so make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications bell. Don't miss out on any of the free content we put out. Currently covering MLB slates Monday through Friday, and we stream live Sunday night through Thursday night with our first look, making this the last show of the week. Pat Bush, what's happening, bro? Yes, doing good. And I am ready for the weekend, man. I'm always ready for the weekend. I'm excited about that 3-day weekend for the wife. Got some shit I actually got to do this weekend. Been busy with the card business. For those of you who like to collect sports cards, let me know. Will you do that? Entertainment. I appreciate it, man. It says I listen to these every morning. Usually first time listening. I've live had the chat. Thank you for doing these. I appreciate it, man. No problem, man. I do it for the nation. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Okay, so we've got a massive 14-game slate. Massive 14-game slate. I know Pat likes the big slates. I know he's excited about that. I'm indifferent. I don't like small slates, like slates that are too small. The big slates are kind of growing on me. I used to not like them because it's just so much. There's just so much you're competing with and so much you're rooting for, but they've been good to me overall in the season. So I think I'm starting to drift towards Pat way. And I think I'm starting to dig these big ass slates. Even though the research aspect is definitely longer. and you can never really get as detailed or in depth. That was kind of always my biggest issue. But at the end of the day, results speak for themselves. And maybe on these bigger slates, we don't overthink things. Right? We know we can't cover everything. So maybe we just don't overthink. Maybe that's what it is. Player Hater 1, what's up, man? Good to see you. All right. That being said, get into the top pitchers. Adam Wainwright's most expensive pitcher on DraftKings as of now. He's been really good. He's having a great year. I don't know if I feel comfortable taking him against Milwaukee at this price. 22.8% K rate, that makes me nervous, but he's been good. He's been just like Marcus Stroman, who's shown upside in the right spots, but typically small slates is where I'll take those chances. But I could see him getting some ownership. He's actually an underdog anyway. Eovaldi, I think, will get some love, right? 24.6% K rate. He's at home against Cleveland. He's at home is not a great pitching park, but Cleveland, nonetheless, who I will admit has been pretty hot. But I think he'll get some love. Freddie Peralta certainly stands out with the highest K rate on the slate at 34%. Batting average balls in play was extremely low, and his fly ball rate is really high, so it's a little concerning in terms of home run regression. But XFIP and Sierra are solid. He was having a great season. Now, word on the street, he's coming off the 10-day IL. Word on the street is that they overplay the sore arm because he's well over the amount of innings he's ever pitched in his career, and they're trying to be smart about it, I guess, heading into the postseason, I think. So that's the concern, is a pitch count, right? Now on the flip side, they're trying to win. So you would think they'd let him go, like if he keeps his pitch count low, they'll let him go deeper. But we've seen situations with him where like he got to like the 7th inning with like 70 pitches, and you're thinking like, oh, I'm getting a complete game, and they just pull him because they just didn't need to use him more than that. So other than that, I would assume he gets a lot of love. Alek Manoah has good numbers, good strikeout stuff. Tough matchup, though. This is a park boost for Oakland. You always want to consider that. But Oakland, 23% K rate, 173 ISO, 102 WRC plus against righties. And keep in mind that they play their home games at a massive park. Ohtani should certainly be a popular choice. He's coming off a bad game, right? Who beat him up? Let me check. I know he's coming off of a rough outing. Baltimore. I mean, he put up 14. It's not like it was the worst, but he gave up 3 home runs, and that was in Baltimore, to his credit. He's back home in California. LA, 29.9% K rate. Numbers are strong. I don't see why. And he's playing Texas, who has been hot themselves, but on the season still has a 24% K rate, 155 ISO, 295 WOBA, and an 86 WRC plus. So yeah, play ahead of shoe high against Texas got to be the only lock, huh? I think that's probably as closest one as I could see on a slate like this, man. Yeah. Madison Bumgarner, I'm not a fan of the numbers. He's playing Seattle, but I highlighted him just because I think that, just based off his name, I think he will get some attention. Vlad Gutierrez is interesting. So I have not played this dude very much, if at all, right? Because I've been chasing that regression. His numbers tell us that he's got regression. You know what I mean? Coming. And Miami did beat him up. 5 earned runs in his last start against Miami. It finally came. But before that, man, he was just pitching so damn well. He did have another blow-up game. The Mets, I think, beat him up pretty good. But that in-between stretch, he was nasty. He's playing Detroit, so I do think that people will try, especially if they're trying to get cores in. I could see them going like Ohtani, Gutierrez as like a stretch. But I don't know if I could trust it. I really don't. Let's see. Huascar Yanoa. So he's in cores. Really good numbers, really strong numbers. Cores is dangerous. But the fact that he's in cores, I think, will lead him to having low ownership. The Rockies have been playing better lately, and they've been playing decent at home for the most part. But they're still dead last in WRC plus against righties at 76. Again, it's core, so it's massive risk. Wouldn't do it in cash, but I think in tournaments he's kind of interesting. Then I think somebody in the chat mentioned it. Who mentioned him? Play a hitter one, Pat. Baltimore top of the order against Cortez in New York. Cortez is the last guy we'll discuss here. Numbers are good enough for the price. Park is terrible. Yankee Stadium, obviously. Terrible as in good for hitting, right? By the way, shout out to those of you in, New Orleans, or Louisiana, I should say, who went through that fucking devastating-ass hurricane. The people in New York and South Jersey got hit with tornadoes in South Jersey. There's flooding in New York and South Jersey, North Jersey. Hopefully everybody holds it down. We got lucky in Central Jersey. Not too close to the water. But, yeah, man. Hopefully everybody, stay strong in that shit. Okay. So, yeah, Nestor Cortez, the problem is he's playing Baltimore, right? And Baltimore, 103 WRC plus against lefties. They've slid down. We still got a 174 ISO. Yeah, I don't know. I'm with you on I think I would lean towards Baltimore, top of the order with you. Play hitter one. Offenses. I expect the Braves to be popular against Antonio Senzatella, who arguably has been one of the Rockies' best pitchers. The ball's going to get put into play, 16% K rate. This is a slate where I don't like to go to cores. Like I did play cores on this small-ass Thursday slate, but on big-ass slates like these, this is where I try to get a little different because we have so many options, right? Sometimes on small slates, you're looking at it like, man, I just don't have any other options. We have options on this one. Let's see. What else we got here? But yeah, I think the Braves will be popular. The Rockies are going to get some attention against Yanoa. That's one of the reasons I'm kind of interested in pitching them. Now, listen, the amount of ownership is not going to be as high on this slate necessarily, right? Because there are so many options. But just going to put that out there. Yankees at home against John Means. Yankees against lefties. Third WRC plus tie with the White Sox. ISO's not great, but they are healthy. They got guys. Means with a 48% fly ball rate. That's tough. Yankees look pretty good. I think the Reds will get some attention against Tyler Alexander. Rightfully so. Reds are home in a very hitter-friendly park. This is probably the next best hitting park outside of Coors. Well, yeah. I think it's slightly better than Baltimore even. Tyler Alexander's numbers aren't anything impressive. What worries me, though, especially if they become popular, is Cincinnati has struggled against lefties. It doesn't necessarily make a ton of sense. Like, yeah, you got Votto who's lefty, and but they got India. Aquino's having a down year. Castellanos hasn't. Against lefties anyway. Look at the team's numbers: a 151 ISO, a 24.3% K rate, 303 WOBA, but 86 WRC plus. So that's nothing that worries me. But on paper, it looks good. And then, one of my favorites has got to be the Astros against Jake Arrieta. It's not a good park. It's in San Diego. It's not like terrible, but it's not great for hitting. But Arrieta's been awful, man. He's been terrible. You got Tatis, Machado. I don't know. Maybe people do gravitate towards that, but I meant my bad. Tatis, Machado. You got Bregman's back, right? Altuve, Correa, Yordan Alvarez. Jordan Alvarez, how is he not hitting a home run off Jake Arrieta tomorrow? I don't care what park it is. Right? So, yeah. I like Houston. And I'm hoping that they don't get too crazy out of hand popular. Which I'm thinking it won't, because it is a massive slate. As we said, things to watch. Sean Manaea is fairly cheap on DraftKings. He'll be going up against... where's this? We're going up against Toronto. Very tough matchup. Toronto. Where you at, Toronto? 110 WRC plus against lefties, 179 ISO, 20.8% K rate. Manaea, though, very strong numbers, having a very strong season. So keep that in mind. Curious to see where that goes. Kyle Gibson against Miami. Gibson's numbers indicate he's got regression coming, but this is Miami. They hit around Carrasco a little bit, but it's still Miami. So this is something to keep an eye on, something to consider, or not. And last but not least, one of the other offense I think could be sneaky is the Nats against Rich Hill. Rich Hill's not good, right? We established Rich Hill's not good. The Nationals are second in WRC plus with a 180 ISO, 349 WOBA, a 115 WRC plus. They're extremely cheap. Now, I don't know if you necessarily have a ton of pitchers at the top that you're that excited about, but the Nationals could be a sneaky little cheap team. I keep playing Kyber Ruiz. He ain't done shit yet. But I keep playing his ass though, right? And obviously, there's more we can get into. Will he do that entertainment raise stack easy? Yeah, that's another way to go. Raise against that's been my team this year, man. They've been good. Randy Dobnak, they're at home, but who cares? Just for the Rays do dirties at home, right? Player hitter one, talking about the White Sox. Bubic pitched in relief tonight, so it looks like we could get a bullpen game. A lot of different ways to go. Be creative. That's the reason that I'm like, why am I gonna play Coors where I know people are gonna come there? I feel like even if Coors does well, you kind of feel like you could find a better way to go. Yeah, Pat. I had a Tampa team too. It did not do very well. It did not. Unfortunately, the Coors teams are the ones doing it and competing with a lot of chalk. So brutal. I fucked up on pitching right at the gate. Anyway, Nation, that's going to do it. Oh, dong watching right here. Not watching right here. All right, we'll go. I'm going to go Astros, man. Yordan Alvarez. That's easy. Right? Yordan Alvarez. We'll go Alex Bregman. I guess Altuve. Mighty Mouse himself. I guess Altuve. I was between him and Correa, but I'll go Altuve. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to do it for this edition of the MLB Wise stream. For myself, the entire WiseTake Nation. Hit the like button on your way out. Have a good weekend. Don't forget the week 1 NFL DFS podcast, NFL DFS Wise stream. Should be Wednesday night. Myself, Patio, Joe, Paulie D, talking about week 1 of NFL. So make sure you're subscribed here with your notifications bell turned on. For myself, the entire WiseTake Nation, have yourself a great weekend. And as always, good luck.
Yeah.